When you start to play tennis, you need to learn how to run, stop, play, and finish. And you need to be sideways. And if you need to be sideways and you need to stop your legs, you need to be here. If you start learning with closed stance, you are already sideways. If you start learning with open stance, you tend to play facing the court and you're gonna do more mistakes, you're gonna feel more frustrated, you're gonna miss more. So if you are a beginner, this video is for you. It's gonna help you understand the difference. Or if you are a tennis coach or a little bit more intermediate, this video is gonna be helpful also, because I'm gonna explain the difference. When should you use open stance, when should you use closed stance, and it's gonna be perfect for you to improve this on your game. So the first thing you need to understand is how should I start learning? If you are start learning, closed stance is the best, and I'm gonna show you here the footwork. So here, 1, okay, 2, double step, play, and finish, okay, and then you recover. This is the footwork for closed stance, and it's here that you should start. And my main tip for you is to start learning on your baseline, okay, because you have the line as a reference. And when you do the first step is also for the line. You imagine you walk in that direction. So you do one step here. You can do with your technique, but ideally it's better with the technique I explained, the technique I mentioned in my book, the technique I mentioned in the books, in these long form videos, and in all my shorts. So I can guarantee that if you follow these steps, you will get better, you will succeed, because this works with everyone. I already did with hundreds, I'm gonna say again, hundreds of players, if not thousands, of almost all nationalities, works all the time. So I can guarantee that this is gonna work for you 100%. You just need to overcome the challenges in the beginning, the mental challenges mostly. That's why I wrote my book also, to help you in that aspect. But technically and with this footwork, you will succeed for sure, okay? So I explained already this in a lot of videos, but basically I'm gonna say again, one step to the side and you rotate your shoulders here, okay? And then I feed the ball, or you can even do alone. For example, I have some balls, you can do second step here, okay? And when you do the second step, you do one to the side, second step, and you separate already racket and arm, but keeping your arm always pointing to the ball. But when I say pointing to the ball, is the arm on this side, pointing to the side, because you want to play the ball in front of you and on your side, and not here, okay? Usually when we say point to the ball, you do here, and you do this mistake. Your hand should be here, okay? So you do 1, 2, already separate racket and hand, and then we do double step. You play and you stay, then you play and you move, second progression, and the last one is you play, okay, you move and then you recover. 1, 2 splits. When should you use this footwork? You need to use this footwork when you start learning tennis, when you are a beginner, no matter the height or the depth or anything, you really need to do that. So you'll do more mistakes, because not every time is perfect to play with closed stance, especially when the ball is here or to the side. But you need to start with this. Only when you can do this without thinking, without overthinking on this, you can progress to another footworks, okay? So this is the first step, and this is used also when the ball is low, when you move in the diagonal to the ball here, especially with lower balls, okay? And also if you move to the side a little bit, but in the diagonal, you can also use sometimes here. And it's perfect because when you use closed stance, you put your body weight on the ball. So you use, is more efficient because you are using less energy to put more energy on the ball. Because if you use here, you use also, of course, more legs, but here you put more weight. You really go. While here you go to the side or a little bit in the diagonal. You have more energy, more power with closed stance. So every time is possible on your game to use closed stance. Every time you have a little extra time to step in instead of waiting here. If you have extra time to step in and play, you will always get more power, and especially on the back, and I recommend more times to do with open stance, and you really feel your body going to the ball, this, okay? Once you dominate this footwork, if you are a beginner, even going to the side, I recommend to start with closed stance, because again, remember, run, stop, play, in finish, and finish is your priority as a tennis beginner. So once you do this footwork I explained here, you have 3 progressions to that side, which is 1, again, on the line, on the baseline, you start with a split step. Of course, I always recommend, if you do semi-western grip, to start, instead of holding the racket like that, to start like this, because if you use semi-western grip here, okay, this grip again is too small, is not Western grip. I'm not doing this. I'm doing semi-Western grip, and is not continental or Eastern grip. Okay, so I recommend to start like that. I personally do it a little bit like this, more or less, okay? But if you start here as a beginner, it's perfect because you will keep the grip. One recommendation for the grip is in the beginning, you always miss the grip. It's the most difficult thing, but you need to understand one thing. In tennis, you have only two options. It's continental grip, not always full continental, but for now, continental grip is like that, and forehand grip is this. So you have two grips, but the funny thing is like, even though you just have forehand grip and then all the other shots is continental grip, the most important grip you have is the forehand grip. Why? Because I believe forehand is the best shot for you to be more than a beginner. To get better player, you need the forehand. Of course, serve is the only shot. It depends only on you. The only shot you can make the difference. But this is more for high professional players, of course, because if you start your journey as a tennis beginner, you will never serve super fast. So this is not going to be your case. So your serve is never going to be an advantage for you. Your advantage is going to be focused on your forehand, because when you start your journey, the ball is slow. You have time to play forehand in all court. You can cover all court with your forehand, as I do, as Nadal does, and did. And you can cover all court with forehand, basically. And more important than playing, of course, you need to have all good shots, forehand, backhand, volley, smash, and serve. You have to have the basic, and we work in everything, as I mentioned in my book and all my videos. But if you have a shot to make the difference, that's what is gonna make the difference. You're gonna focus on what you do best, what you do the the most of the times have you practice, and what you can make the difference in the game. So if you are a beginner, the ball is slow, you have a lot of time, you can even go around and play the ball sometimes. So if the ball is too easy, you need to have a shot that you come, okay, and you can attack and make completely the difference on your game. And this will come. If I can do, you can do as well. I'm not different of you. I just put more hours. So if you play I always say, like, maybe if you play the same hours as I did, maybe you will play even better than I do now. So it's possible. You just need more time, more hours, more effort, and sacrifice a little bit and overcome the beginning challenges. So when you go to the side, if you do this footwork that I said, 1-2 double step, again, start here, this grip here, okay? And then you do one, again, shoulder rotation, one step here, okay? Power is on this leg, rotate your shoulders, and before you do skipping, split step, one, okay? And then you do 2, 3, and the fourth step is forward here, not to the side, okay? Not there, here, okay? Like you did here, when you did 1, 2. This is not the right one. Is 1, 2, more or less in front. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You play and you stay in the beginning. Second, you play and you move to the side. And third, you play, you move to the side and you recover. 1, 2, split step. This is the basic footwork to start if you are a beginner. Once you dominate this, once you can do this without thinking too much, of course, I'm going to feed balls, low balls, or the coach is going to feed low balls, or you can even do with your hand any shot. You can either throw the ball, like you do 1, you throw, 2, 3, 4, play and stay, and then you can move and you can recover, okay? Or you can do 1, 2, 3, 4. You can drop the ball like this on your side, not in front of you. You can play and stay, and then you will recover. This is the basic. Once you know this, okay, I'm ready for the next step. Filipe, what is the next step? The next step is to start working on your open stance, and again, you're gonna start doing some mistakes. Basically, you're gonna open the court too early, and your biggest two mistakes are gonna be you're gonna open too much early the body. You're gonna start to miss cross court, okay, to your left side if you are right-handed. You're gonna miss there. So to prevent that, you have two options. Or you work specific exercises to work on this, like I mentioned in all other videos. I can give you here 1 or 2 suggestions. Or the basic is, for example, when you start, your focus is footwork, and the basic technique is not already to correct your mistakes, because this will happen, but you will correct them later. But if you want to correct that without fixing the mistake right now, if you understand that you are doing open stance and you are missing too many balls there, just make this point exactly outside of the court. So if from here you are missing there, point there, because if you point the ball there, you're gonna miss to the court, and the balls are in. You solve the problem, and you can stay focused on the most important thing, that is again your footwork and your basic technique. And for basic technique, I want to say is one, to open the racket while you prepare, do this loop, contact point on your side, and finish the racket answering the phone like that. Okay, this is the basic technique I mentioned. You need to do this before you be worrying with another thing. Once you do this, you correct that mistake. Okay, basically open stance, you can start learning by just doing one. Okay, and you bend, and then you play on your side and you move. Okay, notice that my legs touch, one leg touch in another. When you do here, you go down, this leg touch on this. Okay, and then you can recover or whatever. Here, 1, 2 split. Once you already know how to do this, you can step a little bit more to the side. You can do extra steps, and you can do one. Instead of just bending, you do another extra step. 1, 2, 3, power on this leg, you play, okay, and then you recover. 1, 2, split. Of course, you can do this with ball. You can throw the balls, either 1, 2, 3, you throw and you play, or you can even throw the ball and play like that, and then you recover. You can perfectly do this alone in the beginning. When should you use close stance? You need to use close stance when you move to the side, or when the ball is higher, or if the ball is too high and short, you can anticipate and do another footwork, that is this one, and jump to the ball, but also with open stance or more semi-open, and you jump to the ball. Okay, this is another footwork you have. So basically you have open stance that is to the side, where you use your legs. Here, power is here, you finish. Okay, power is on this leg, and then you need to recover. 1, 2, split. And then you have the semi-open when the ball is too high, where you go here. Okay, power is on this leg, you jump. Okay, and then you do 1, 2, split step if you go to the net, but now you don't go to the net, you just recover. These are the basic footwork. Again, close stance you use when the ball is low, when you move in the diagonal forward, okay, and every time you have time, you step in and you are more aggressive because you use your body. Okay, every time you don't have time, you run to the side, the ball is deep. Okay, you need to use open stance. And one important thing is the first step you do, this one. Okay, this first step is really important. If you just start, if you do the split step and you just rotate, look, if the ball is here, you cannot play, you even lose the balance. But if you do one step and the ball is here, you can just bend. You do one, this, and this. Like Serena used to do this a lot. Here, 1 and 2. Okay, and you use more your shoulders rotation. Okay, here, this is actually not a ball that I use a lot, but of course you can use. It's really important to do one thing at a time. Don't skip process. If you start your journey, do close stance first, and then you go to the open stance. There is no problem. Of course, you will miss balls. For example, when you learn, if you run to the side, I always recommend to start with close stance. So here, even if the ball is here, okay, but you have two options, because if you are playing here, you have two options. Or you go back and you play a little bit lower, or you move forward and you play here, because the ball is at this height for 2 times, when the ball is rising, okay, and when the ball is going down. So if you are playing here, it's your fault insurance, as we say, joking. Basically, you are playing here, but the ball was already here. Otherwise, it wouldn't be here. And then the ball is going to be down again. And one tip for this is I always recommend, of course, I teach this on the line to have the reference of the line, but I never recommend to anyone, to you, to start playing on the baseline. At least go 1 meter, and 1 meter. I already feel uncomfortable for me, so, but at least 1 meter is the minimum, okay? I play here. I play in this side of the court, or sometimes even a little bit more, okay? So don't be afraid to go back. Again, this is all really beautiful technique, footwork, but nothing of this works without 2 important things. One is the physical capacity you have. You need to run outside of the court. And more important than doing beautiful exercises of fitness is to actually do something. And more important than doing some just for the stylish, or just you pay a PT, a personal trainer, and you work some beautiful exercises. Okay, I have 30 minutes, let me do, I don't know, 50, 100 push-ups and run 10, 15 minutes, and start like that. Get ready, go a little, 1 minute, 1 extra minute, 10 extra push-ups every single day, and you'll get better. This is enough to get fit. You have exercises like push-ups, like squats. Okay, you have too many exercises. You can do pull-ups, you can do everything alone. You don't need anything special. Of course, if you can have anyone to guide you better, like I do in my online courses, in my ebook, in my product that I'm gonna launch soon, is not gonna add more value for you in information, but I'm gonna speed up your process, because I'm gonna give steps by steps. Like my ebook is like exactly to cut the time that you will take the process. Of course, you can watch all my videos. You will take time if you have the time. Perfect. But if you pay a little bit extra, I can say, okay, now you need to do this, then you need to do that, then you need to do this after. And yeah, so if you want to work with me, also speaking about that, I have the link below in my description. You can just sign up. I have the offer for 4 lessons, but you have also a trial that if you want to do, you can do just 1 lesson, and I'll guide you step by step all your needs, so you don't need to be here watching all or on every single video. So if you have the possibility, of course, you can pay a little bit extra and get the advantage, because you're gonna learn faster. Uh, and I think I cover most of the things. I forgot to mention one important thing. If you already know of all of this, if you already know open, close stance, open stance, one important thing is, if you go to the practice and you never miss, if you just go to the practice, you are happy because all your balls are in, something is wrong. You are not learning. If you don't miss, you don't learn. You need to understand that if you want to play better tennis, if you want to play better, you need to try something more. Even me, everyone can get better. So for example, if I play a forehand 100 kilometers hour, I can do 120. And then if I do 120, I can do 150. If I play balls, good for 150, but my balls are here, I can always try to play here. Okay, and then I can play here. So you can always get better by depth. Depth is the priority. So more deep or deeper are your balls, more quality they have, and more challenging is for your opponent. And then you can combine depth with speed. If you can combine that, is perfect. And then of course you also have the height of the ball. Higher you play, deeper are your balls, and all of these combined make you a better player and much more competitive. And even for that say, okay, I'm not that competitive person, but tennis is a game. And as a game, you need to be competitive. And because it's a game, you need to understand how to win, because it's part of the rules of the game. You need to understand the tactic, you need to understand how to play, where to play, how can you win. And without wanting this or without understanding, you are being competitive and you are learning the process to win. So I always say it's really important to start with this foundation. That's why I care a lot about this. But tennis is much more than technique. So tennis is a mental game, tennis is a fitness, and one without another don't work. You can be really good mentally, but if you don't have the fitness, you'll get tired and mentally you go down, so you'll lose the match. If you are really good physically, but mentally you are not strong enough, it also never work. And how you can get better mentally is just through hard work. You need to work hard, you need to be tired and still do 50 extra balls. You need to do this instead of doing slow. If you already know 1, 2, double step, play and finish and recover, and then to the side, 1, 2, 3, open stance and then recover. If you know how to do this, then you can speed. 1, 2, double step, you can play, recover and go here. Okay, and you can work as fast as you can. Okay, you can put a cone here and play double step and go around the cone and go again. More balls you do, more you can hold the pain and work in pain, stronger mentally you'll be. Also because you know, okay, I work so hard, I'm good on this, I'm able to be here for as much time as I need. And this mentally is like peace. You are strong mentally because you know you are prepared for this. It's like you go to an exam. If you didn't study much, if you just study the night before, you go to the exam and, oh my God, what I do now? Let me pray. I hope it can go well. But if you study for a month, if you study every day, you go to the exam and you don't even think about that. You're just gonna write the knowledge you already have, you already acquired, you are not nervous, and everything goes more naturally. And this is the idea for tennis. And remember, this is not a sprint, this is a marathon, but I consider that this marathon never has an end. We can always get better. I can always get better, much, much better. You can always get better. We are always learning, we are always improving, and there is always something extra where you can get better, can do better, can work harder. So yeah, this is what I wanted to share with you about this difference. This is really, really important. If you want to go a little bit deeper, and if you are beginning your journey, or if you are already even intermediate, but you want to change your technique for a methodology that works 100% of the times, I can guarantee that. I tested a lot of times. You can buy my book, read all the book 1, 2, 3, 4 times, all the times you need. You can read and reread and reread. I already read my book many times. I even was traveling to Mallorca yesterday. I'm here in Nadal Academy, but in the flight, I was reading the book again. I think I have 20 pages left. And the book combined with all my videos, all these long forms, and the fantastic project I'm going to launch soon, you are ready to get to any level in tennis. Okay, I'm confident on my level, I'm confident on my knowledge. And again, why? Because I study this a lot. And then I have two things. I love tennis a lot as a player. I played many tournaments. I won 75 tournaments in 4 or 5 years. I reached more than 100 finals in official tournaments. This is not important for you. You don't need to care about that, but this is just to show you that I really know what I'm talking about. I know what is to sacrifice. I know what is to be tired and still have the semifinal and final and wanting to win. So want to go to the match and sacrifice to win. So I know all of that. I know when it's like 40 or 50 degrees, like in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, and you go to the court and you do your best. So all of these things are really, really important. Without them, you cannot progress in tennis. And remember, you can always work smart. As I listen now a lot of times, oh, I can work smart and work less time but more efficient. But remember, in any other side of the world, there is some random player that is also working smarter but harder. And smart and hard together, this is the perfect combination to be a perfect tennis player. I hope this video helped you in this side of the court. I'm focusing a lot more on my forehand now, because I truly believe this is what you need to progress faster and to become a better player than everything else. It's easier. You can, of course, read all the book, be online with me. I can help you step by step to progress faster. And yeah, for this video is everything. Let me know in the comments what is your biggest challenge right now in tennis. How can I help you more? What is the biggest challenge and what would like me to talk in the next video? And for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in this video right here that I also consider really important: how to approach the net, with which footwork to use in these balls when you approach the net, in high balls, in low balls, and especially when you are going outside of the court, what is the best footwork to use, because for each single ball you have a different footwork. And if you have a good footwork, if you have a good base, a good foundation, you can be much more explosive. Because remember, one of the biomechanical things of tennis is opposite of forces, and this means that all the force, all the power that you press against the floor, the power is gonna come equal to you, and in this case to the shot, because all your energy is on the floor. You need to take it out of the floor to hit harder. Okay, it's not about the power you do with your arm. Power is here, and you bring it to the ball. Okay, it's a kinetic chain that you have in your body that is going to help you to play faster, more efficient, and less injured. Okay, I really hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.